Hello, I'm Toby O'Neill, and welcome to Injustice Investigation News. Today, my uncle, Mr. Scott, entrusted me to open the show. And even though I think it's really because I always miss my cue when he opens, I appreciate the opportunity. First of all, I want to welcome everybody and thank you for blessing us with your time today, and we'll do our best not to waste it.
Amen. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I was thinking today, I said, Toby, I don't know what the hell be going on, but he always misses cue. I don't know what he be looking at. And your head is always in that same position like this. I'm like, he's not even listening. Love you big time, bro. Love you big time. We look forward to the wonderful piece that I know you're going to bring tonight. We look forward to that. How your day been, brother?
It's been great. It's been great. I can't complain. How about yourself?
A little busy, but I can't complain either. Wasn't nothing bad, just busy. And that's basically hell every day for me, right?
All right, that's always good.
Exactly. That's basically hell every day for me, right? I see where the feedback's coming from. Okay. Donald Duck. A piece was released earlier today on him from CNN. The piece was pertaining to the 2020 election. Mm-hmm. And Donald Duck simply told DOJ to say the election was fraudulent. Came out straight out of his mouth. Don't worry about anything else. Me and my Republican buddies will take care of the rest. I think that's earthly sad. That nothing about that is presidential. Nothing about that is America. This is the only president, in my opinion, in U.S. history that went in the White House with a hidden agenda. And that agenda was to simply destroy our democracy.
Exactly.
When he went in there, it was basically what he could get out of it for himself and his companies. And I don't know how many incidents have to come up with writings from him, recorded phone calls, for some Republicans to realize that this dude is a serious threat to the United States of America.
Oh yeah.
Several times he talked about trying to start a war. We knew that would be something that he probably would try. And a few weeks later, after we announced it on the show, Nancy Pelosi basically said the same thing, that he would do anything to stay in the White House. I am trying to see why I can't see the comments on this end tonight.
I can't either. I was looking at that.
You can't see any?
Nope. I was going to say hello to a few people, and I can't see them.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any. I'm trying to see what the problem is. Let me switch out for a minute. I'm just going to type something in and see what happens. Didn't show up. Okay, yes, it did. There it is. Okay. And so you can only do damage control for an individual for so long to where it begins to make you look incompetent.
It does. Yeah, that
It
seriously.
begins to go ahead, Toby.
I say it does seriously. You with people that's associating with Trump right now, you looking stupid by association.
Exactly. And either they can't see it or choose not to see it, or they just like him, super stupid and dumb as a box of damn rocks, you know. Um, but it's earthly sad, you know, the things that he have tried, and so if he really had any intentions of trying to go back to the White House, well, he's not making it look like he wants to go back, and we know he's not going back. But it just it doesn't look good because every day something new is coming up on Donald Trump, and so I know now that what I'm thinking that they're going to call him to testify. But that's the one thing, Toby, that he don't want to do. He don't want to testify because if he testifies, we know he's not a good liar. If he testifies, they're going to break him down, you know, and he'll probably try to get out of that and stuff. But this was the worst president in U.S. history. J-Rock says, what did the Republicans do this time? J-Rock, nothing yet, which is what they've been doing for a while now. We were talking about CNN released a report a little while ago that Donald Duck told DOJ to say that the election was fraudulent, that he really won. So, I mean, he's desperate. He's desperate. He's throwing anything and everything out there till he gets something to stick and just go from there. But this is just un-American as it can be. Trump is a disgrace to his damn self. You know, it's unbelievable. Go ahead, Toby.
The major part about it is, like, think about it. We're talking about a past president, but that guy has more publicity, more fame right now, more power in a lot of areas than the actual president, because he captured the people. He captured the support of a large group of people, and that's just like any other major organization. His organization is mostly political. So think about he wields a lot more power in the White House than, you know, the president, based on his associations. And that's why he's still in the news, and he's still demanding headlines, more headlines than the actual president.
I'm glad you said it, because that's it. You're right. We do see more of him speaking and saying something close to nothing than President Joe Biden.
Exactly.
So, and I believe he honestly stays out there in front of the cameras because he don't want people to forget about him, and he wants to feel so important.
And he is, because just like I said, like since day one, the media has fed into every silly thing he said, and the Twitter, everything. Like, he's been the most popular president that has not did anything than I think ever in our time, because he utilized social media to not only, you know, build his following, but he controls his following. He utilized social media more than any other president, and he wields more power and control because he has a lot of supporters. And like the Karens of this world and all the other people of this world that feel like, okay, since we support Trump, we can now be openly racist and we can, you know, do this stuff openly. Like, he's gave him the power, and the more he speaks and the more he puts stuff out there through social media, the more the media is going to cover it, the more he's going to outshine the current president in power. And like that guy has a lot. I, you know, do a lot of research, and I did a lot of research on Donald Trump. That guy has a lot of people, you know, some of those same people, the Proud Boys and stuff like that. That dude has a lot of anti-U.S. government people on his side.
Exactly.
And I've watched videos and everything where some of these guys have stepped up and said, If you need us, call on us. I watched a video about that before the riots or insurrections, you know what I'm saying, in the Capitol.
Mhm.
And I knew that dude had power that we couldn't even see. That dude has power to make things happen that we couldn't even see. Just like the attempt at them coming together to march on every state capital. Did you remember that? You remember, like, who has that kind of power? You know what I'm like? You a past president who running around telling a bunch of lies and spewing craziness, but you have the power to organize that type, you know what I'm saying, of movement, that type of organization. That's a powerful dude.
Exactly. And yeah, and but that kind of power is very deadly.
Exactly.
You know, and I think some of the Republicans really believe that he will make a run for the White House again, and he might. And so a lot of them, for whatever reasons, are beholden to Donald Duck. They're intimidated by him. You know, every time they speak, it's like Donald Duck speaking himself. You know, when you can come before the cameras and say, the men and women that invaded the Capitol, they're patriots, they're good citizens. They love their country. They know the election was stolen. And they know a damn lie.
But think about it though. If he didn't know what I'm saying, he did enough. But if he just wanted to go all the way and you know what I'm saying, really just wield his power, that dude could have been, you know, big in the US. If he preaching on hate and that platform that he preached on, he didn't just go all the way in because he knew he had black supporters, you know what I'm saying, and that are people that still, you know what I'm saying, kind of sort of hung back. But he didn't want to offend everybody. But that dude could have went in with the power that he wielded at that point. That power put him in the White House. That power in those people put him in the White House. You know what I'm saying? It took it like we slipped up and we fell into the all the drama and everything that came with Hillary, and that split us up just enough for that dude to slide through the back door. But like, think of that dude before then. That dude had never had any base in politics. He never had anything from but a business perspective. And just like I said, he galvanized a group of people, a large group of people, over some hatred, and he pulled a power move and became the president. And honestly, he could have took it further. He could have took it a lot further. And I'm just glad he out of there. But at the same time, don't think for 1 minute that dude still doesn't wield power. Because as soon as you slip and think, oh, he's just spewing and he's just doing this, and you forget the stuff that like this, if you put this not on his shoulders, if you don't put this insurrection on his shoulders, like that dude is a powerful dude. Don't never forget that. Don't underestimate him.
That's it. I mean, and that's very scary, you know. And so when you get Republicans to come out and say January 6th, it was just a normal day, you know. There's nothing to see of people. There's nothing to investigate, you know. They love their country. That's it. Most of them was coming to take a tour. Really? So, anyway, let's move on here. A little while ago, I think it happened maybe a few days ago. Someone sent me a piece that a civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump had put out, and it's about a young black lady. I think it's in Texas. They kept calling. I think it was Kayla. Kayla is what they kept calling her. So I'm assuming that's her name. Allegedly, something was going on, and she was out. Said she was going to commit suicide. She was going to jump in front of cars and just kill herself. Well, the police came and they grabbed her. She was thrown down on the ground. Now, what's disturbing about this video is the officer, how he conducted himself. But before we get there, we have to know this. It's okay for you to film the police. They hadn't made that illegal yet, but I'm sure it's coming. It's okay. But I just want to point out some things that you shouldn't do when you're
Exactly.
filming the police, because
Exactly.
yeah, so we don't. One thing the police know, you don't have to say, "Dumbass, I got you on tape." He see all those cell phones. He see that.
Exactly.
He see that.
He knows
You
they
have
know.
to remember. Exactly. You have to remember. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. But what you're doing, especially if this is a family member or a close friend of yours, your emotions are running wild. Understandable. But you don't want to call a police officer ugly names, because you're going to make it harder for the individual that's in question, that's on that ground. Now, one lady, she touched the officer's hand.
Exactly.
You saw that, yeah, telling her to calm down.
Exactly.
And he turned around, and I thought he tasted for a minute, but he said, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!"
Exactly. Exactly.
That's a no-no. That's a
That's a
no-no.
no-no.
So you don't touch him. You saw that, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I understand what's going on, but what they don't understand is that you're going to make it worse for the young lady. You're going to make it worse. So all you have to do, stand back so many feet and film the police. Do not interfere in their work. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that, because you may find yourself in a pair of handcuffs also.
Exactly.
Now, the officer was on top of her. And I'm going to find something that the sheriff department put out in defense of the police, the deputy sheriff. If I can find it here. And he was basically, they were saying why the officer was on her the way he was. And I'm going to read some of the incident. Okay, it occurred on July 27, 2021. In response to the incident, July 27, 2021, Cuffman County Sheriff Deputy Martin and an 18-year-old female in Texas, we received multiple calls about a female attempting suicide by jumping into oncoming traffic. Deputy Martin quickly located the female, and in an effort to prevent her from running into traffic, he took control of the situation, used a control technique that is taught by the Kaufman County Sheriff's Office. Now, in a nutshell, he is prostrated across this girl. It's an ugly sight to see. I mean, he did everything but have sex with her. The woman was foaming at the mouth. He's holding her, and he won't get up. The law states whatever technique that you have to use to subdue somebody, you do that. And once you have done that, you back up, because they're in your control. All he had to do, if you wanted to, was put her in handcuffs and put her in the vehicle. But I do understand that it may not have been that easy because of the crowd that was gathering around him. And then so there was these two girls that kept, I mean, they was extremely close to him. So we put the picture out a little while ago with a red circle around it. Don't touch the police officer. Don't do that. It's a 7-minute and 2-second video. Everything went wrong about 2 minutes and 39 seconds into the video. Well, I don't know what one of the ladies did, because it was hard to determine. Maybe you can figure out what she was doing, but it almost went extremely bad then, because tasers began to come out. I'm gonna let you piggyback off of that, Toby.
Okay.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
Okay. First of all, like, the video was picked up. I watched it a couple of times. The video was picked up. Think about this. We have, first of all, a person who is intent on harming themselves. Think about that. That is a person that is intent on doing serious harm to themselves. So that officer entering that situation is entering that situation knowing this person is attempting to do harm to itself. First, foremost, and always, he could have ended all that by saying, I'm not even finna get involved. I'm gonna let her run out in the street and get hit by a car. Understand that first, because this is a person you call to tell me this person is trying to hurt themselves. And I know a person who's trying to hurt themselves and have no regard for themselves has no regard for me. So I could have chose to stay out of that, first of all. Okay. But once I choose to get into it, I have to know that this person is content on hurting themselves. Now, whatever went wrong, we caught the video and with him in that position. Now think about it. In that position that he was in, he was straddled her lower waist area. He was straddled her area in that position. He had both of her hands pinned up over her head. And if you look at the video, he wasn't attempting to lay down on her. He was attempting to hold her hands out and maintain that control while, you know what I'm saying, trying to, not put his full weight on her. Watch that.
Okay.
But like you said, from there, the other people drove up with him in that position. Now think about it. His mind state, we don't know his mind state from there, but he walked into a situation where somebody was trying to hurt themselves. And he felt his duty as an officer to try to stop this person from hurting themselves. And once he stopped the person, puts his life in danger to try to stop this person from hurting themselves and get this person subdued, other people run up and start screaming and hollering and cursing. And just like I said, he still has this person to control it, but you have all these other persons around you, and there's nobody else there, officer-wise. Just a bunch of people screaming. And then it's aside from screaming, you start touching them.
Exactly.
You start grabbing them, and you think about this. At that point right there, if he was in the total different mind frame, scared or whatever, it could have went worse right there. It could have went bad right there, but it didn't. He maintained his composure. Hey, get back. Once the other officer got there and they was able to, okay, now let me roll her over and subdue her, because why you got a handcuff her? She ain't did nothing. She was out here trying to kill herself. But she ain't did nothing. She ain't did nothing though. Yeah. Y'all pulled up. Listen, okay. But he rolled her over, handcuffed her, got her up to proceed to take from that moment. Okay, she's in control. Whoever that was kept going, grabbing on the girl, pulling the girl. This girl is in custody of the officer right now. She's okay. She's up. She's breathing. Hey, don't put him in the car with her. I don't trust her. But hey, maintain a safe distance, like you said, and allow him to do his job. Because she ain't doing nothing. Okay, what am I supposed to do? I just jumped out here to risk my life. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm supposed to just say, okay, here, y'all go. Let her go. Let her go. Here, bye. No, because she just tried to kill herself. She was running in front of cars. They are going to take her. They're going to take her somewhere. Okay, let's go get her some psych help. Let's go get her calm. That's how the procedure works. It's not, okay, let's go home. Let her go home. No. And that lady, you know what I'm saying, she kept on pushing the issue. And just like I said, I saw the video, and like I said, I can't condone her actions. I can't condone her actions. And I say that her overreaction caused that reaction and caused that to go, the way it did. It did.
I totally agree with that. You made some very valid points there, because even when he was by himself, he yelled maybe once or twice, but
get back. Don't touch me.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't in a disrespectful way, but
exactly.
We have to remember that, as you bring that to the point, this officer has a taser and he has a gun.
Exactly.
And he don't know what you're trying to touch.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Get back, because both of my hands are here. I don't know what y'all trying to do. If I could have said, hey, the last guy we said where people wouldn't get back, he drawed his weapon. He drawed his weapon and pointed it at people and said, get back. So because he felt threatened. That guy right there, though, he maintained his composure. He did.
He did, But Sandy Mill, good evening to you. He did, but they have to remember what you just said. This individual is allegedly trying to commit suicide. And so I'm trying to prevent her from harming herself, but you guys are gathered around me and it's making me nervous.
Exactly.
And so this one lady who kept going up, I'm like, is she trying to get tased? Is she trying to get a bullet put in her? You know, but I think she edged that thing on. So that's why in 2 minutes and 39 seconds, it went bang. Exactly. But when the other officer arrived on that scene, Toby, whenever he was speaking, he was in a low tone.
And look at the reaction he got. It was still turned up. It was, and he was trying to turn down the situation. Okay, calm down. We hear, you know, he like, hey, go ahead and turn her over. You know, all this was taking place. They turned her over. They picked her up. She was breathing and everything. At that point, hey, at that point, it was like,
and
okay, now let's.
Yeah, but I don't know what the hell you're walking with the police for, because you're not cops. And
grabbing on her.
You know,
grabbing on her, like you trying to pull her away. Where you taking her? They said that, like, come on, like this dude is still trying to save her life. Don't forget that point.
Exactly.
It's not like he got called to the scene saying a criminal was on the scene and he came with, you know, looking for somebody with criminal intent. He came looking for somebody attempting to harm themselves. And at the end of the day, if we batter him for this, next time he might think about it. Because I would, if I was just an innocent bystander and happened to try to jump on that girl and save it, and I got all of that, I would have jumped up and say, "Here, man, go on about your business. It ain't even worth that for me."
Exactly. Quickly, I'm gonna read just a piece of what the sheriff department said pertaining to the deputy's body camera, because they was complaining about the officer that was holding her down. His body camera wasn't on. So here's what the sheriff department says.
Let me say this.
Morning. Okay.
I say, let me say this before you read it. If we don't know the scuffle. We don't know the scuffle that took place. We don't know the scuffle that took place with him, you know, to get her into that subdued position when that person was trying to hurt themselves. So he could have lost the camera, he could have lost the gun, he could have lost anything. We don't know what the scuffle was.
But here's what the sheriff department said. Deputy Martin's body worn camera was discharged from the holder while he was trying to get control of this female that was attempting suicide. So they made that out to be a big issue, but I could be wrong. But I believe that part there, because it's very well possible that, you know, it came undone. We also have to remember, you're still calling this guy names. You're still saying, "I need your badge number and I need your fucking name." You don't do that. You film the police and you maintain a distance from them. Don't agitate them.
No.
Because nothing you're going to do is going to make them release that individual. What they will do is arrest you for interfering with police business. You know, so I think it was a sister or something, but we still have to know how to film the police. You know, don't put yourself in harm's way. Sonia, good evening to you. Welcome.
We have to figure out. Anyway, we have to figure out and learn how to conduct ourselves when dealing with them, because if you look at a lot of videos in, you know what I'm saying, situations where we've had over the, you know, the past where we've talked about police brutality and stuff like that. In a lot of those videos that you know, where officers were dead wrong and used excessive force and kill people even. The one thing that was pretty regular in most of those videos was somebody else escalating the situation. Somebody else, whether it was the passenger in the car, what you stopping him for? What are you this? What did he that? This and that there? What this and it? Like it's like for real, like aggressive nature begets aggressive, and I don't care who you are, because we are programmed to you know, meet aggression with aggression ourselves. So think about it. A policeman, yeah, he may supposed to be trained different and everything, but Aggressive behavior puts anybody on guard. Aggressive behavior puts anybody on a different mind state. I don't care who it is. And that never helps a situation, especially
And
when you're
see,
dealing with police.
right, and it's it happens probably not a lot, but it does happen when a family member has called the police on a loved one that's trying to do themselves some harm. But when the police arrive for whatever reason and they take control of the individual, well, then the family gets upset, you know. So they want to come in and get out of handcuffs. They want to cuss the officer. So you don't know what's about to happen, especially when you're by yourself, you know.
Exactly.
So the whole thing here about this video is I said over and over again, you can film the police, but film from a distance and keep your mouth shut. You don't have to say, I'm filming you, I need your back. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do nothing. Just film. And that's it. Because you can make a situation terrible, just by you interfering and stuff. Because one thing a police officer knows, when they leave home, they do not know whether or not they're going to walk back in that door.
Exactly. They always carry that with them.
Exactly, because it's a dangerous situation and stuff. But so nevertheless, again, just don't interfere. Okay, I want to get to your headline for the night, and because as I told you on the phone earlier today, I don't think we have ever done something on this piece you're about to bring on this station, this show. We may have, but I really don't think we did. But I think it needs to be heard, and I applaud you for bringing it to the public's attention. Ms. Cook, good evening to you. Welcome.
Okay.
So you just missed the cue again.
No, I'm okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to read this, so I might not be on the screen. I'm reading. Okay. I wanted to talk to people, you know what I'm saying, about a topic that's, you know what I'm saying, close to me, and that's the city of Shreveport. And the more I talk to the residents of Shreveport and talk to them about the problems in the community and responsibility, for the problems in the community and stuff like that, I see that most of us are quick to blame someone else. We are quick to put the blame on the shoulders of the government, the police department, and everybody but ourselves. So I wanted to, talk today about who is really to blame, you know what I'm saying, before our situation. I just want to talk about us and our situation. And when I was doing some research on it, I ended up reading a piece that somebody wrote about Shreveport, and it made me mad, but at the same time, it was so true that I couldn't do nothing but respect it. So I want to share that piece with y'all first.
Okay.
It says, Shreveport is a dying southern town. There's really nothing to see there except a couple of old casinos and rundown, shut down businesses. The local government is completely dysfunctional, and the city struggles with the typical racist policies that help people of color, keep people of color poor, uneducated, and locked up in the prison systems that replace plantations. The worst part is the minorities don't understand this because the majority of them can't even afford an education. Public school systems are crap. It's just a big mess, and the local government owns this mess. Shreveport equals poverty, high crime, gun violence, racism, corruption, poor performing school systems, population decline, urban decay, unimpressive economy, bumpy roads, failing infrastructure, dirty, polluted, and oh yeah, they have a few parks. I feel that the people who call this place home, I feel for the people who call this place home, because it doesn't have to be that way. This is the government's doing. Lazy and incompetent city management and unproductive city meetings will only make this horrible situation worse. That was a cold blow. And it hit home because I had to go through some other statistics and wonder about some other stuff that I wondered about Shreveport. And one of the main things I've always wondered about Shreveport is population-wise.
Okay.
Population-wise, the city of Shreveport, population-wise, in 2021, there was an estimated 182,000 people in Shreveport. 182,000 people. Demographically, in 2021, 57% of the residents in Shreveport, Louisiana, were Black or African American. 57%. That means not only do we or is our population bigger than the whites, but that means if you take all other nationalities and put them with the whites in Shreveport, Louisiana, we are the majority. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out, if we are the majority, how do we always remain the minority? And it's like, who's responsible? Really, I go back to that question, who's responsible? And I looked at the things that they list. They list poverty. Poverty, you know what I'm saying, meaning having enough, being able to, care for your needs, feed yourself and stuff like that. Poverty. Like, when it comes to poverty, we make money. As Blacks, we make money on the local level and on the national level. We are the biggest spenders in the economy most of the time, because most other people are putting their money up. We putting ours into the economy. So the majority of the time, we are always the biggest spenders in the economy. So the economy deals with poverty. We put so much money out and not save money and not invest money, to where I feel like we own responsibility for a lot of the poverty that we face. I feel like we are responsible for that. High crime rate, gun violence. We talking about Shreveport. I feel that we are responsible for the high crime rate and the gun violence, because we are the most violent, statistics say. Statistics say we are the most violent. Statistics say we commit more crimes with guns than anyone else. Statistics say. So I feel like we hold a responsibility for that. The public school systems, what our kids are being taught, the government, the failing infrastructure. Again, 57% of Shreveport is Black. So that means by law, if we had all the registered voters, even if we counted out the ones that were felons that couldn't vote, or the ones that were prevented in voting by somebody, for some reason, think about it. It's still that 57%, or, I don't know, maybe a little less if you take those out, but it's still 57%. White people in the whole is 38% of the population. 38%. So if we took out for the people that couldn't vote, and we took out, I still don't feel like that 38% could beat our numbers. I still don't feel like it. So just that being said, Tupac said a long time ago, when he was doing some community work, and they was asking him to go into the community. He made a speech one time. Some people could look it up, but he related it to album sales, and he related it in a way like, I sold this many million album sales. The Dog Pound sold this many million album sales. And he said something like, if we can convert those album sales into votes, we could get any law passed that we want to get passed. And I'm asking.
Go ahead.
And I'm asking, with 57% of the population being Black in Shreveport, whose responsibility is it for us to do for us?
I mean, that's wow. That's heavy. Before I answer my opinion, someone is asking you a question. I don't know if you can see the comments. Sonia, she's at the bottom. Do you see her question?
Do you think, Mr. O'Neill, it's just like Africa? I didn't know what she meant by that.
She's asking what's going on here. She's basically saying it's the same thing in Africa in so many ways, I guess.
What it is what I believe the problem is, they keep us divided. They keep us divided. You know what I'm saying? Like we have they say it's power in numbers. We have the most numbers. But if we are not together, we have no power. We have no power. Me and my uncle talk a lot about politics. And
Exactly.
the thing about me, you know what I'm saying, that I say in politics is the one I'm gonna use that as an example. We spend the majority of our time when we talk politics, we spend the majority of our time talk about the Republican and the Democratic parties and which one we should go with and this here and that there. That's division. They gave us two different parties. So if we choose one, either way, like we was talking about earlier, whether we voted a Republican has been in office or whether a Democrat has been in office, when have we ever benefited?
You just preached. You just preached. When it comes to elected officials, and this is just my opinion, it's not a fact. I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as a fact, but when we have elections and we have some people in some seats that are doing something close to nothing, they care more about the title than doing what the title is required for them to do. So after sitting there for so long and doing nothing, we vote them out. And so we vote new men and women into our local government to be part of decision making for the city. But here's where we go wrong at, and it happens probably in every election. The people that we are electing are the same people that we're kicking out. They may have a different name, but they are the same people because they come with the same agenda. And so we was talking earlier about Atlanta, the chocolate city. My sister Adela always brings that up about Shreveport. It could be the next chocolate city, but that's next to impossible because here's the thing, in my opinion, with a lot of our elected officials in Shreveport, public figures, period. When it comes to us, Black men and Black women, there's a line that neither wants to cross because I want to beat one up, that one wants to beat one up. So there's a lot of jealousy and hatred in there. And so that's why they cannot come together as they should and solve the problems that's within our city. I remember one time, I think it was last year, and with all the shootings that we still have now, and somebody asked the question, well, when is the NAACP gonna speak out on black crime? Well, my response to that was they can't because they too busy fighting amongst themselves. So they can't come out and fight, So I believe it's all of our responsibility if we're in this city.
Like the NAACP is there, but the NAACP is not really a part of the community. I'm gonna tell you like this: we can't expect people to be a part of the community until we let them in. We can't expect people to be a part of the community until we let them in. That's with the police and telling them what they need to know, and government officials, because the key thing is this: they are elected. They are elected by the people. So in the real world, they serve the people. I'm gonna give you an example. I'll say the South Shreveport, richer neighborhoods. Do you not think I'm gonna give you a term, a lobbyist? A lobbyist. You do politics. A lobbyist is a person who lobbies on behalf of a group to a politician. Now think about this. Unity. Let's just say, for instance, we were unified. because I see who was that? Alicia Cook said people aren't educated in their community. I think we need to get together and teach the community. As Mr. O'Neill, your favorite saying is each one teach one. Alicia, you're right. But think about this. Imagine if, like Alicia said, if we taught the community and say we didn't get everybody, say we got 30% of the black vote, 30%. Do you not think if those 30% could come together and agree on something, that we couldn't get a lobbyist together to bring those politicians when they running around everywhere spewing about what they're going to do and what they're going to be, sit them down in front of us. Sit them down in front of us and honestly ask, if we put you in office, what are you going to do for us?
And you know what? Brother, I totally agree with that, because when they're running for office, as we said earlier, they're going to say whatever they think needs to be said to get into a certain seat. And a lot of times, if they win the election and they get in that seat, most of what they promised, either they done forgot about it or had no intentions on doing it. So we have to pay attention to who we are getting ready to put in office. And the first thing they're going to say is that proven leadership, if they've done this before, proven leadership. But I mean, what do you call proven leadership on your end? Because we may not see it. We may not see it, you know? And so a resume is very impressive, but the resume is only as good as the individual that stands behind that resume. We have a lot of backbiting in the city of Shreveport. There is no unity. And when you read that piece of whoever wrote it about how the roads look and the crime, okay, well, you got angry when you first read that.
Yes.
And I didn't hear it until you read it tonight. I got angry. Mm-hmm. But even with getting angry, whoever wrote it, they told the damn truth.
And that's it. That's why I had to share the piece, because it was the absolute truth. And I'm going to tell you something. Think about this. Think about this. Okay, just like I told you earlier, we have Republican, we have Democrat. They keep us choosing. But like I said before, there's an independent party. And you think about this. You talk about respect and power. If we could accumulate 30 to 40% of the vote and say we're not even going to go Republican or Democrat, we're going to pick Mr. Scott to run for something, and we're going to put 40% of our vote behind Mr. Scott, what could they do? What could they do? Even if we didn't accomplish it the first time, I guarantee you they'll have to take notice, because they losing votes and black people are coming together. So even if we didn't get it the first time, like look how long we've been voting people in and they've been doing us wrong. So you mean to tell me that us trying it a different way and trying an approach where we choose our own candidate, because just like we vote the wrong person in the first couple of times, we can vote him out the next time and we can vote somebody else in there. And we can show them that no, we're not going no more. So it can be done. It can be done. It can be changed. You can change the political system. We got the numbers. We just don't have the unity. And the thing about it is, when we get unified, once we get unified, like I said, you know, I'm working on a plan that I feel like could change the city, but I can't do it by myself. And I know I have to get other people involved. I have to get other people involved in the idea process and everything. But I guarantee you, if we decided to come together, put a plan together, and pick our own plan to execute our plan, we'll have a better chance of success than we have it now. I guarantee you.
Exactly. You know, to go back to when you brought up the thing about the school board, right? And in some of our schools, we know the students are failing, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing is this: I don't think it's always the students that are failing. Mm-hmm. I think it's the system that's failing our kids.
It is, huh? And just like I said, go ahead.
You have some teachers that's been teaching since Jesus left, and they're not up to par in 2021. So sometimes we have teachers in there that needs to come out. They've been there for too long. So you need someone with new ideas and a fresh set of eyes to see something totally different that can change the system. With the program that you're putting together, it's something that has never really been done.
Exactly.
And
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't mean to cut you out, because look at the system, the school system. Okay, we know the school system. The school system right now is not about teaching. The school system is about preparing kids for standardized testing. We know that. And think about this. With those teachers and with that staff at that school, standardized testing determine whether a school is successful or whether a school is failed. If a school gets too low of a score, overall, a school can be closed down and all those people can lose their jobs. So think about that when we say the system, because that system is fighting to keep those students trained to pass standardized testing with high test scores so they can stay open. That's what that school system is about. That's what they turned it into. So we can't expect the school system to teach our kids how to think, how to prepare themselves, not to work for people, to, you know, start their own businesses, to how to be productive into their communities. That's not what school is for. School is for teaching them how to pass standardized testing, which we know is teaching them how to memorize stuff that they can spew out when it's time to do a test. That's not teaching our kids how to live life and accomplish nothing in life. So we can't depend on that system. We can't.
And so with that being said, parents have to realize one thing, that once the child comes home from school or the weekend rolls around, the learning don't stop.
No,
the learning don't stop. Don't put everything on the system.
Exactly.
Because I think sometimes you're doing that because you don't want to deal with it, and so you won't get blamed for it. I'm a point over there. But if you know that system is failing you or your child, why you got them in there?
I don't know about Shreveport, but a lot of districts right now, where I come from, like, you have the right to, you know, charter schools and different schools to put your child in a better school, in a better situation, you know, to do better. But we have to supplement that income, that education, because we know that education has never taught us anything but how to be subservient and how to be dependent. So as parents, as a community, we have to, you know, supplement the income. We have to give them the extra and prepare to give them the extra that they need in order to.
Tammy, always 100 never fake says they teach things that they are not going to use in their life.
Exactly. Once they learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, that's basically over. That's basically over. Everything else is a waste. So from that point, we need to be have trades where we can start putting out. That's one thing about Shreveport. Like, I don't see trades where our sons, even our daughters, are learning carpentry, bricklaying, work, things that they can do to create their own jobs. The most they open them up to around here is barber and beauty school, and a nurse's aid and stuff like that. It's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to expand on that. If they're not going to give us access to those type of programs, why we can't create our own programs? Why we have to keep, you know, begging them for something? Why we can't? We have enough. We should have enough skilled tradesmen, me, myself included. I'm trying to work on a program now where I can start a trade program to bring kids in to teach them stuff, to put them to work for the summers, you know, on yard crews and stuff like this. I'm just a shot in the dark. The city pays, I think, $1.7 million in contracts for people to keep the areas mowed around here. They pay that to a private person. Like, why can't we apply for that contract so we can start putting our youth to work doing that work? Like, it's ways we can go about helping ourselves. We have to go to the system with plans, you know, for help, because we have to put the plans together ourselves, because we have to help us. We know how to help us. We just not doing it.
Exactly. And we talked about that the other night, where I'm talking about blacks. A lot of times blacks sit and wait on a lifeline. They sit and wait on somebody to come in and save them and fix them and fix their kids and stuff. And you waited on Dr. King, you waited on Malcolm X, you waited on the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, you waited on Al Sharpton and President Barack Obama. but it's up to you to get things together for you and your family. If you know the system is failing your child, well, don't let your child continue to go there. And then you have to follow up and see what that. Go ahead, Toby.
Tammy, always 100, never facts, said a lot of teachers now don't teach. They give the answers to them. And that's just what I'm saying. If you put me in a position where not only my job is on the line as a teacher, but you could shut down an entire school, you put people under pressure to do stuff like that and say this kid is not going to make it. That could bring down our test scores. And I'm willing to cheat to try to keep. And just like I said, that's what that system and that school system with that standardized testing, that's the position that it puts teachers in.
This happened a while back where a student was in school. It was in Shreveport. And the child told the teacher when he was getting ready to take a test, I can't lie, I didn't study. Well, the teacher's response was, that's okay, Google it and you'll get your answer.
Exactly.
And I think that's super stupid because I need to know how you derived at that with that to that answer.
But depending on it, just like I said, as a person in life, he needs to know how he got to that answer. But if I'm focused on the right now and he needs to pass the test that could, shut down an entire school, then you put a person in a compromising position.
Right, but it's not going to help that student later on in life.
Not at all.
Because he can't
exactly.
The
standardized testing model is not helping the students.
Exactly.
So, nothing about that is helping the students. So like I said, we need to supplement. You know what I'm saying? There are I know everybody is not with homeschooling, but you know what I'm saying, homeschooling is great because that gives you a chance to be hands-on, you know what I'm saying, and to add to the curriculum. Like there are so many teaching packages and stuff available to the point where we have African American teaching material that's available that focuses more toward the African American culture and what we need to learn. Like there are so many ways and so many things that we can do.
And Tammy says that's why I took my son out of the outside schools and started homeschooling, and
exactly.
That's something that we really need to start looking at, going that way because it's our children, and if we're sending them to school, then we expect for them to benefit from going to school, And another thing that bothers me in Black neighborhoods is when we put up things, for the youth, okay? We're always putting up a community center where you can go and play ball, shoot pool. They got the laptops in there now, but basically nobody's teaching the child anything on the internet. The child is coming on Facebook or YouTube.
Exactly. No guidance.
No guidance. So I'm tired of seeing community centers in the Black neighborhood. It's really a cop-out. It's really a damn cop-out. That does not help your child be a productive citizen in life because all you doing is sending them over there for somebody to babysit that's sitting in a damn office.
Okay, so now that being said, structure in the community centers. With the right structure in the community center and the right people who care to volunteer a little time, it could be structured. That we look at as a bad right now can be structured to do good. If we, structure it. I'm gonna say something. Let me say this. I'm gonna read this piece. I wanted to I put together. Mentally, the powers that be are in control, only because the masses are divided and dysfunctional. They still don't realize that unlike the slaves that we still think like, we now have the right to earn and spend our own money whenever or wherever we want to. We have the right to choose how and where our kids get educated. We have a right to build our own schools. We have a right to vote and put government officials in office. And like Ms. Tammy said, we have the right to vote them out of there. We had the right to buy land and build safe, comfortable places to live and even produce our own food. We had the right to open and grow our own businesses and everything.
And
So
right.
who is in control? Who is in control? Who has the power? We have the power. We just not using it.
That's it. And you know what? That's true. And also sometimes the powers that be know about things like this, but they only benefit from people beholden to them to get things better. So they won't say a mumbling word because your laws is helping me.
Exactly. Think
I
about
don't
it.
went to school. I didn't graduate. Mm-hmm.
Look at the population control. Look at how just like we talked about population, 56%. Do you not think that they fear that?
Exactly.
So think about it. If we gonna use population control by killing each other, do they really have a stake in stopping that?
That's it.
Because if we don't kill off so many, imagine what the population distance will be. The gap will be in 10 years if we stop killing off each other. Imagine what the population gap will be in 10 years. They know that. So really, we already know what I'm saying, outnumber them. It's just like slaves on the plantation. You got enough, you got too many, but you keeping them under control. You don't never want them to realize, hey man, we actually outnumber them. We don't have to stay here. Or we don't have to do what they say.
And that is so on point what you just said. And if you keep me up under your umbrella long enough, I began to think that this is how it was, and this is how it is, and it always will be for a black man or a black woman.
Exactly.
Things only work out for white people, and that's not true at all. And we're about to run out of time here. Toby, this was a wonderful piece. I really enjoyed it there and stuff. And I thank you for bringing it to the light. But I'm sure we're going to have another topic on this to come soon.
I like to talk to the people. Let me know if we want to talk more about this. No, we can talk more about this type of stuff, or we can get back into R. Kelly if y'all want to. But I prefer, to talk about this type of stuff more often because this is why I do this. I want to help my people, you know what I'm saying, and I'll do everything I can to do that. I thank y'all for tuning in.
I know that, and I'm totally in agreement with that. But since you brought up R. Kelly, let me end by saying this. I don't mind. Now watch the numbers go up. I don't mind anyone quoting me. I don't mind anyone telling my story. But when you quote me, quote what I said, not what you interpreted what I said to mean. And when you tell my story. Don't tell your version of my story. And with that being said, I know every damn thing I have ever said about R. Kelly. Stop sending me fucking messages about who the Pied Piper was. I know who in the fuck the Pied Piper was. Your comprehension skills fucking sucks. That's all you got. The Pied Piper. No, it was a fictional character, and you're fictional in your damn mind. Stop saying you talked about Linda Carter. Now you're defending her. Where did I defend Linda? Her name has not come up in the 2 nights we talked about R. Kelly. Hadn't come up. But sorry. One thing you're not going to do, I'm at amazed for. Here's what you're not going to do. You're not going to shut me up. You're not going to make me say what you want me to say because you feel that way about R. Kelly. I don't give a fuck if R. Kelly rot in prison. And you got to be some bad fucking parents that need to be locked up who's out here defending R. Kelly. That's just fucking sad. That's just fucking sad. So stop with the goddamn bullshit. Because let me tell you something. The bullshit that you send me, that you comment on, nobody sees that but me. And if I approve it, it goes out. So save yourself some fucking goddamn energy, dumb bitch. It's not going to the public. It's not.
My bad, Miss Tammy.
It's fucking sad when you get upset because someone disagrees with the lies that you tell. The lies that you telling. Y'all, R. Kelly ain't gonna give y'all a fucking goddamn dollar for saying he didn't do this and he didn't do that. But what he will do is fuck one of your children if they're under 12.
My bad, Miss Tammy. I did that. I apologize.
But
so Tammy said, "No, don't bring up R. Kelly."
Yeah, he did.
I did that.
Tammy, we were sitting over. We're gonna stay a few more minutes. He did it. Listen, again, it's a person's prerogative to change their mind. If someone changed their mind from something they said yesterday, surely it has to be a reason. But your education level is so fucking low, you can't see that. I don't know, but why did you say this? And now you're saying that. I don't even know if you went to school, because that's some elementary shit. Evidently, something I know changed my mind. But one thing you can never say, Mr. Scott said, he has never said R. Kelly was innocent.
That's growth.
Of one damn charge. I've never said.
That's growth.
I fought for the I fought for the due process of the law.
That's growth.
Everybody,
everybody can learn something and pick up, you know what I'm saying, something new that changes their perspective on things. If you're not, then you're not living and you're not learning.
That's it. And what you have to keep in mind when it comes to our justice system, and I said it last night, you only know what they want you to know. And then you got to remember, certain people have reliable sources to give them information that they can't bring out right now. So when you speak on what I'm saying, get the shit right. Get the shit right before I embarrass your ass. Stop writing books on my YouTube channel. I don't read them. If it's past 2 paragraphs, I'm gonna block you and I'm gonna delete. You're not gonna publish your book on Injustice Investigations YouTube channel. We're not gonna do that. We're not going to do that. If y'all was worrying about where black people are headed in this country, and it's down a one-way street to a fucking dead end, if you was concerned about us the way you are concerned about Freaky Kelly, things in this country might have changed by now. It might have. It might have. I don't care who believes R. Kelly is innocent. You know what? If Toby said, I think R. Kelly is 1,000,000% innocent. Okay, that's my nephew's opinion. Do we fall out? No, that's his opinion, and I respect that. I respect that. When you cannot respect a person's decision, that says a lot about you, and I promise you, it's not good. But your opinion about Mr. Scott says more about you than it ever will about me. R. Kelly, I will tell you, don't drop the soap, but you'll do it any goddamn way. We got to go. We'll see you guys next week. I know we're going into some that wants the police department defunded, and I can understand why, because they haven't changed. They haven't changed. They haven't changed. If anything, it's gotten worse with the police. It's gotten worse. So we will see you all next Tuesday night, if the Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Lisa Fleming says, "Hi, Mr. Scott, good to see you live. I've been missing the lives, but I always come back." Okay, but I need you to start catching the lives, Lisa. I'm gonna have to put you in timeout. Debbie Stevens says, "True." I agree. I love you guys. Toby, take us out of here.
All I want to say is we have the power. We just haven't realized it yet. Peace. Y'all take it easy.
Thank you, Tammy. She says, no, you didn't. You just said you wanted it to be fair. And that's it. I don't care if he's guilty or innocent. My thing is I fight against injustice. That's it. I don't pick sides. I don't do it. I'm for due process of the law. I don't give a damn. It's an individual who killed 30 people. Everybody deserves due process of the law. Good night. Love you all. Remember, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. Toby, have a good night, brother. We'll talk in the morning, I know.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right,